Okay guys, this is a video I'm doing for you convertible Fox body guys. If your top ain't working, first thing I would do is come right here to the switch. You know, there's two screws. It's held on by this clip, which mine is cracked, but that's right there on the dash. I'm sure this looks different on the 87 and up, you know, where they changed the interior. But anyway, here's the switch. Here's what I'm getting. And I know it's a contact issue right here. So I always check the switch first. I can hear back. That's one way, but right there I'm not getting anything. So I'm not getting contact inside that switch. So I'm going to put some contact cleaner or something. Oh, I got one that time. But you can hear it there. One side's working better. That's down is fine. Coming back up, I'm having a hard time getting contact and put it back together. And that's what I always start with. If I can't get anything after that, my next thing to do to problem solve is I go to the back and I go straight to that pump with a separate battery or a long set of jumper cables, and the two terminals on the pump I will put positive on one and negative on the other and bump it and bump it. And if the motor's turning both ways, flip your wires and hit it the other way. I mean, it's pretty obvious. That's how you do the wiring. Is if you've got a positive, the tail down. There it is. Put a positive on one side, negative on the other, and just bump it to a battery. Bump the power on a battery on that pump. And if it works, then you know your pump is good. It's not the pump bad. Switch the wires, it'll do the same thing. It's going to spin the other way. Then, if it ain't that, you got relays and you have this switch. That's all there is to these. They are not hard to do at all. It's just tracking it down. See? Yeah, I'm getting it every now and then. I get a little bump whenever I go up or down, so I know inside this switch right here is wore out. I have the same issue with my four-way switch. You have to hold this switch here to the left to get anybody else to roll down their windows. So all of this is wore out. I have actually been in there. There's a little piece of metal there and one there where I have pressed all this back together. These are really hard to find. I'm gonna find one and get me a new one, or I'm gonna rewire all this myself in a whole different way one day. But yeah, same thing. I usually start at the switch, and if I can pull it out and get it to do something, then I go to the pump and I put wires on the pump. Basically jump start, you know, you're just like jumper cables. That's what I use. Bump it, and if that works, then you know it could be either your relays or this switch. And if this, you just gotta track it back. Yeah, I'm getting it. My down is good, but my up is not. So I'm going to take this switch apart, and I'll show you what it looks like once I get it apart, if I get it apart. Alright, I sprayed some contact cleaner. I couldn't get this thing out. That thing is a lot harder to get out than I thought. And it was starting to crack little pieces here and there. I could hear it wanting to crack. So I put some contact cleaner in there. Now let's take a listen. Here's down, working, up, working. So I basically sprayed contact cleaner around the switch, and it got in there and it cleaned off whatever tarnish or whatever was on that connector. So that's that. The top is now working. Now, probably going to have to do something to these too, and we'll do that on a separate video. But this is just a quick little thing. Remember, if your top ain't working, first and foremost, take your switch loose. Contact cleaner, carburetor cleaner will even work. I got some carburetor cleaner right here. You spray that in there with the key off. You don't want it charging. Let that get in there. It'll eat off the grime. Then turn your key on once you know your carburetor cleaner's dry. Try your switch. If it's still not working, go to your motor, jumper cables, hit the hot and the negative at the same time. Just bump it. If it turns, you know your pump's good. Put it, reverse the wires. If it turns, you know it's good the other way. So that eliminates the motor. Then you're looking at relays or switch. That's the only two things left, or a wire in between. And you can check all that with a jump. You can put a test light on these wires right here and fix this. So I'm gonna put this back together, and that's that. I got up, I got down. Everything's working good. So appreciate everybody who watches the channel.